Just a reminder graphically of what these two teams have been doing so far this season. An air of consistency in the middle portion of that from Borough, and potentially a corner turn for Ipswich Town. Do you think that's the case, Luke, from what we've seen in the last 3 or 4 games with them, and absolutely off the back of that wonderful result against Norwich?
Yeah, definitely, and they were building that throughout that before the Norwich game, and I think they're starting to find their stride now. The players individually are starting to find their stride, especially with the changes they've made over the summer, and they'll be looking forward to this one because they need to start improving their results away from home.
They're an expectant lot up there on Teesside, Marcel, then?
Very much so, very much so. The good start has put them instead where they've had that little bad run. They're still in the top 2. Big football match tonight. You know, I think the Championship's a bit like snakes and ladders. You're so up and down, you know what I mean? And that you win Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and you're flying, you're right back up there. I think big game for both teams. I think it's a defining game in both teams' seasons. Because if Ipswich can start winning away from home, I don't know who's going to stop it.
Big game on the cards and the perfect way to get back to our bumper schedule of Championship action. And we've got 2 of our very finest leading us through it all on Teesside. It's Andy Hinchcliffe first. Good evening, Daniel Mann.
Good evening, David. Good evening, everybody. Well, we do have one more international break before Christmas, but we enter the truly frenetic period between now and FA Cup 3rd round Saturday, which is one of the unique facets of the Championship, and it's quite a way to start. I don't think either side would argue with the suggestion that for both, this is their toughest test so far. Well, the rigours of international duties and the training performances of those who have stayed behind have played their part in Rob Edwards' selection tonight. It looks very much like a shift from a 3-man defence to a back 4 from the start for only the 2nd time in the league this season. Alan Brown replaces the outstanding Aidan Morris in midfield. Morris made a strong comeback for the United States in the recent internationals. Bergzorg, Whittaker and Strelets come into the attack. Riley McGree makes a very welcome return to the Matchday squad. He was out for 9 months with a foot injury. Well, 12 days on, the team that ended the interminable wait for local derby success takes to the field again for Ipswich. Indeed, it is exactly the same Matchday squad. The concerns over the energetic Smodics and Egeli not sufficient to rule them out. Both did have slight ankle injuries, while ex-Borough hero Chuba Akpom is a substitute. Ipswich won on their last visit here less than 2 years ago. Only Leif Davis and George Hurst started both then and now. Well, for Middlesbrough, it looks very much as though there's a change of defensive structure, but they hope, Andy Hinchcliffe, not a change of defensive fortunes.
Yeah, when you look at Borough's home stats, it's pretty clear they need to score more goals here, but having the Championship's best defensive record is why they've won 3 of their 4 matches here. They conceded just a single goal, so Fry and Jones tonight, they have to marshal that back 4 effectively, because Ipswich's attackers, both starting and off the bench, will give them the biggest test of the season so far. Goals and wins at home are flowing for Ipswich, but with just 2 of their 15 Championship goals having been scored on the road, no surprise they're yet to win away. Jayden Philogene really epitomises this goal-scoring preference. All 5 of his Championship goals have come on home soil, so is this the night when he finally transfers his stunning Portman Road finishing to an opposition ground?
Indeed, Old Trafford, the last away ground at which he scored, and scored twice in Premier League defeat. Rob Edwards, a smile never or rarely far from his face. And while it has been a run where results have not quite been at the standard set at the very start of the season, well, to be where they are at this point, probably beyond expectation. Expectations huge at Ipswich this season as they seek to respond to relegation with immediate promotion for the first time in the club's history, and victory tonight will take them to 3rd place in the Championship table. When the EFL are highlighting their Together Against Racism campaign. Seek to eradicate prejudice from our game. Ipswich in their familiar blue, the rich red of Middlesbrough.
Even though the league table doesn't really suggest it, I think we're going to learn more about Middlesbrough tonight. We expect Ipswich with the depth and quality of their squad to finish in the top two, regardless of the result here. But for Borough, if they can get a positive result, it shows that they can compete with the best and go the distance, and at the very least make the playoffs.
Hurst coming together with Alfie Jones for the first time tonight. They started with a back four against Stoke City here in a goalless draw. Started that game particularly well, but no reward, 0-0 at the end of it. No great reward. Stoke performing very impressively at the start of the campaign as well.
Straight from the off, Ipswich looking to be aggressive, playing fairly direct, looking to pin Middlesbrough in their own half.
Strelets coming deep to link play there, and it looks as though he is going to be the one of the pair just to drop in while Conway leads from the front. Switch of sides for Alfie Jones. In the centre of defence is Hackney, who made a much talked about trip to Suffolk to discuss a move to Ipswich Town before the window shut, but after a couple of days thinking about it, he decided he was better off staying here. McKenna giving him the compliment in his pre-match press conference that they got to find a plan to stop him. So I would say, as Jim Bowen used to, what they could have won tonight.
It's a slightly different central midfield setup tonight with Alan Brown coming into the team, Hayden Morris, who's reliable alongside Hackney. Such a strong partnership that's been broken up, at least from the off.
Whittaker caught in possession. Juste and Philogene doing their utmost to try and rob him. Set Ipswich on the way. Britain's challenge is deemed worthy of a free kick by referee Matthew Donahue.
An example of a strong, aggressive start from Ipswich, stepping onto Middlesbrough, not allowing them comfortable possession. Making it difficult for them, squeezing out the pitch. The press is on. And Middlesbrough have to appreciate that, maybe change the way that they go forward a little bit.
Philogene and Davis plotting. Will be the latter. Hackney on the end of it. Matasiwa. And Alex Palmer a long way from home.
Look at the pressure on him though from Tommy Conway, who's run 30 yards there to close the goalkeeper down. And for strikers these days, yes, it's about scoring goals, but an example there of what the team need from him as well. Close down the back four, close down the goalkeeper, work hard off the ball.
Smart target. Brown. Redoubtable figure in midfield. We're certainly grateful that concerns over Sammy Smodics were not significant ones. A slight ankle problem, but as much as Hayden Morris's value to Middlesbrough is extremely high, there are no doubts about Alan Brown's credentials to step into the role tonight from the start. Hackney harrying Juste. In part was responsible for Ipswich losing possession. Hackney and Conway. Alfie Jones and Dale Fry back with the armband. Forward by Target. Bergzorg operating down that left flank. So, it's very much a case of wingers who want to come inside for Middlesbrough this evening. And Conway was felled by Kayuste. Intriguing developments today. It may well be that, as well as Kieran McKenna, it's Graham Potter that he's going to be seeking to impress with regularity, with the suggestion he may be taking the job with Sweden. Here's Hackney. Gelly. Keeping an eye on Callum Britton. Most right backs in the Championship, you're up against Jaden Philogene. You're a bit low to step over the halfway line to leave a lot of space in behind you. Callum Britton is a forward-thinking fullback. He might need to be a bit more conservative tonight. He will need help as well at times. Morgan Whittaker will have to get back and at times double up on Philogene. He's that dangerous. Toast of much of Suffolk after Derby success, Jaden Philogene, but as we've been hearing in the last few days, coffee on the house wherever they go after Derby victory. Really seem to underline the point that Ipswich finally got going, the shaking off the difficulties of last season, but they're into difficulties made by their own errors. There's a poor square pass from Matasiwa that was picked off. They are a good pressing side. Rob Edwards likes his team to squeeze opponents when they can. Going up the dial a little in terms of aggression with and without the ball. Frightened to get it forward a little bit quicker than we have become used to. Bergzorg scampering back with urgency, but it may well have been that Alan Brown had the matter in hand anyway there. Just going back to Jaden Philogene, he has scored some stunning goals this season, but you can't underestimate the role that Leif Davis plays in creating space for him as well, because he makes these runs on the overlap, drags defenders away. That opens up a bit of space for Philogene. So that combination, Philogene and Davis, has been devastating in the last few games. Swoddick's looking to steal a march on Brown. Bergzorg doing well to get back and win it. Hackney. Here's Brown. Alfie Jones. According to reports, Canada want to take to the World Cup. It's worth checking out where your grandparents were born in World Cup year. Matasiwa. Davis drifting a long way inside. Getting off the shoulder of Jones, it's promising, but Fry tidies up. Causes so many problems. You've got a left back there in Leif Davis ending up as a centre forward. So he's almost tracked his forward run, which doesn't normally happen. No one stays with him and runs all the way back into the back line with him. It's up to the centre half to appreciate
And he's now their man.
Well, Whitten certainly didn't get that challenge right in any respect, and it's an Ipswich free kick. Kipre. Hasn't had too many yet, but definitely his best day in an Ipswich shirt against Norwich. Philogene delivers, Bryn plucks it out of the air.
It's a really difficult cross because you're travelling with the ball, then you're looking to clip it to a relatively small attacking player in Schmorix. It's a good forward run. The ball's just got too much flight on it. Easy for the goalkeeper in the end.
Hackney able to guide it on to Strelets, and he's got options either way here. Birdsall, Hackney with shooting space.
Well, he'll be disappointed he's not done better because he's not really closed down effectively. He has the space, has the time. This quality should be maybe hitting the target, but they bypass the Ipswich press brilliantly. Borough here to get out. It starts with Hackney, then he gets up the pitch to receive the ball back, but that's a really poor strike on goal. It's going to be a major test for both defences playing out from the back, because both sides, as we've seen in the opening 11 minutes or so, were willing to step up the pitch and press the back fours.
Well, as much as their success against Norwich was rightly toasted in Suffolk, there were some moments where they nearly carried out their own undoing, and this might be another. Davis blind, Conway to seek to make the most of what was a relative gift, and he's forced the corner.
It just doesn't look Leif Davis. It's a ball bounces off him. His first touch initially is not good. There the ball bounces off him. He's just not had a look. His head is down all the time. Conway's done well to read it. But it's a really poor back pass. In a way, a cheap set piece.
From which comes an opportunity. And Jones and Fry certainly ones to watch. Fry at the back there with particularly vivid footwear this evening. There's all sorts going on in there, and ghosting in was Alan Brown as well, several wrestling matches broke out, and Tommy Conway ended up on the floor.
It's a real crowd scene in front of the goalkeeper. They're looking to flash that ball in with real pace as well. I see Conway, I think he feels a bit of pressure on his back and he throws himself to the ground, because Alex Palmer, for me, I don't think pushes him over. There's a bit of a nudge there. I think Conway feels it and then just completely exaggerates the fall. It's ridiculous.
Target hoping to find one that's not his finest work.
Just going back to that Leif Davis error when he played that ball back towards Kipre blind. And it came from actually Morgan Witter again, putting him under pressure, right on his toes. There wasn't an easy forward ball for him to play, so went backwards, and that's where the corner came from.
Neat interchanges here. It's Britton, Brown. Juste intervenes. Now Philogene, Britton threatened to catch him out. Well, the door opens there for them to some extent, but positive opening for Rob Edwards. This game of risk didn't ultimately really come a cropper against Norwich, but there's every sense that they might do it tonight.
Just looking at Strelets and Conway, when they don't have the ball, they play as a front two so they can press Ipswich, make it difficult for them to play out from the back. When they have the ball, one will drop off the other. One will play as a 10 and one will lead the line as a 9.
Furlong. Kipre, outstanding performance. He certainly made it difficult, laid down the gauntlet to Jacob Greaves. As Britain sees the danger away.
I feel it's been a fairly respectful opening 15 minutes or so. Both sides kind of maybe feeling each other out with Borough's change of shape. Maybe Ipswich having a little look at that and seeing where the Borough players are actually playing. The other side really going full throttle as yet.
Yes, it's kind of gentle sparring, really. Given the punch they can pack. Egeli will go on the outside and force a corner. He's another who likes to come in the way, playing on that right side, onto his left foot.
Yeah, we don't want jabs in the ribs, we want blooded noses, that's what we're after.
And that's just in the commentary box. Usually by half-time. Philippine waiting with some interest on the edge of the penalty area. Well, I say the edge. Fair way off the edge. Hurst going near, Kipre trying to get free, but it's all for nothing. As Solbrin calmly claims and then seeks to do the right thing but doesn't quite execute. And Whittaker certainly buzzing with energy and I'm sure delighted with the way his manager backed him to the hilt, although Smoddix has given him the slip there. Hurst. Davis arriving on the scene. Now Philogene. Know what he wants to do. Ayuste, Davis. Borough wanting offside. Smoddix. Ayuste, a teaser, which drifts beyond George Hurst, and Borough can sound the all clear.
It's the more difficult pass. He's got Leif Davis in acres of space to his left here, Ayuste. Just keep the attack going, roll Davis in, which he does initially. When the danger is cleared, he has a second opportunity to do the same again, play him in again. There's no Borough player anywhere near Davis. Clipping that ball towards Hurst is much more difficult.
Well, he is a player that, even deep in midfield, sometimes likes to do the more difficult thing. Certainly enjoyed life in Suffolk. Indeed, much of his stuff was still in storage in Suffolk. He'd gone back to Italy. He was certainly anticipating a swift return, clearly.
It's a very good signing. The Ipswich have made some excellent signings. They took their time, they didn't rush into it. When they were relegated, they've again built a very strong championship squad.
Davis. O'Shea looks for Davis. Philogene. Matasiwa. Philogene. Davis. 5 in the box for Ipswich. O'Shea well up the field. Matasiwa felled, and there's a one-on-one battle here. And Arno Furlong has been dragged all the way across to deal with Delano Bergzorg. Ultimately, Ipswich were able to funnel sufficient bodies back long before there was any major threat. And Borough lose it. Look at the run of Egeli on the far side as Ayuste looks to find his way through some challenges of a niggly nature, and Alfie Jones goes into the book.
He takes one for the team because the counter-attack is on. He's not playing the ball, he just plays the man, takes him out. The referee's right on the spot as well, Matt Donahue, so he's always going to book him, but Jones knows exactly what he's doing here because he cannot let Cayuste go any further. That's risky on Philogene. So keen to take advantage. Furlong with a hopeful glance to the referee there, who said he wasn't having any of that. It's a shocking pass from Philogene, a shocking first touch from Bergzorg. Let's get the sense though Ipswich are just starting to get a foothold in the game, a grip of the game, starting to force Borough back a little bit more than having forced back themselves. Davis has got space, but he hasn't got the ball, overcooked by Cayuste. Davis. Up towards Bergzorg, carried well by Furlong. Up towards Straits. There's Cayuste. There's Brown. Madasiwa got a touch. Philogene. Either foot he can let go, but Jones staying with him. He's had a couple of one-on-one situations, Philogene, with Britton or with Jones, but both the defenders have done the right thing. They've stayed on their feet, they've not tried to win the ball too quickly, they've got good blocks in.
Well, Kipre opted not to go back to the goalkeeper and be progressive with it, but Middlesbrough were able to swiftly steal. And seeking to wrestle back some momentum, but Ipswich have it. Philogene feeding Hurst. And it's a good ball to return it to the chief danger man. He makes ultimately nothing of it.
Now, a lot of that is down to the fact that Callum Britton sprints back to double up, help out Alfie Jones, who's on a booking in his own penalty area. You see Britton is caught out here. His reaction is sensational. Head down, sprints back. Makes it 2 against 1 eventually, and that ball goes out wide, and Philogene is slowed up. Britton gets across, helps out his centre-half. Snuffs out the danger.
Yeah, what Hurst wanted. Finding space, as Smodics is seeking to do. George Edmondson in the Middlesbrough ranks, who's injured, but Chuba Akpom is back at an old club where he is very fondly remembered.
It's nearly 70% of his goals from Middlesbrough came here. So is it written he's going to come back with Ipswich and score again at the Riverside, win the game?
To Ajax, time on loan at Lille last season. Bergzorg, Brown, Whittaker, played by Davis, way out, not found though. Hackney, Britton. Conway just drifting wide for the minute.
Bergzorg's drifted into it essentially as Conway appreciating this space on that left-hand side that could be exploited.
Bergzorg has played a lot as a central striker in his time in England particularly. So 4 attackers, if you like, do afford a lot of fluidity and flexibility. Whittaker. Brown. Britain. Running, he's waltzed his way through, really. Got a deflection. But it's far too easy. I'm looking at Kouste as Hayden Hackney makes a move forward. Just watch number 12 here, just nothing. Nothing at all, just stands and just lets Hackney run past him. He's got to do more than that. OK, you're on the edge of your penalty area, but you've got to confront him. Make it harder than that for him to get to the edge of the box.
Well, they rolled out the red carpet for him when he went down to have transfer talks, and they did so on the pitch there.
In a game as tight as this, small margins like that, just not closing somebody down, could be so costly.
Fry peeling to the near post, but it's beyond him. There's Brown winning his battle with Smolix. Bergzorg. Brown in attendance. Smolix should get there first, and does.
Great example of the hard work that Sammy Smolix puts in for the team. Just to be a creator, to be a goal scorer, but he works incredibly hard. He has to be part of the defensive effort. He's there.
Energy and endeavour, possibly, particularly in this kind of assignment, is going to get in the edge in that role, you would think. Hackney. Bergzorg. Hackney worked it well for Brown. Initially it was all about dancing feet, then they got the bulldozer out, try and find a way through, but didn't have.
It's just too congested. You've got a bit of space, just let rip. A deflection could take the ball home. There's so many shirts in that central midfield area, very difficult to get through.
Whittaker played it early off Strelets. Strelets' instinctive style with the socks halfway down the calf. Jones. Here's Britain. Some of a few in Middlesbrough colours have adopted. Perhaps a little fortunate.
He's mightily lucky. Just put that ball out of play. Tries to play it back upfield. It comes off Morgan Whittaker. Luckily it comes back to him. That could have gone horribly wrong. At times as a defender, just clear your lines.
Brown pouncing, and so too did Matasiwa. That was quite an important challenge. It's just a tickly game at the moment. You're really not certain which way it's going to swing. Thought that Ipswich had a grip on it.
Plenty of aggression and endeavour, just a lack of quality so far.
Hackney. Couldn't find a way through as the ball did. Commuter on the London Underground could empathise with him there, because the door's shut.
It's good to see Hackney just get up and not appeal to the referee, because he wasn't fouled. He played the ball in between the defenders. Defenders did nothing wrong. He ran into them. It wasn't a foul. It certainly wasn't going to be given as a penalty, and he didn't appeal for it. Good to see.
Fry. Bergzorg. Trying to keep things moving. This is Dara O'Shea, who's the busiest of the Ipswich players during the international break with the Republic of Ireland. Seeking out Davis again. That's as he did a little earlier. This time it's a better ball, and Davis feeds George Hurst. And vital, telling blocks from those in Middlesbrough red. Alfie Jones getting well-deserved congratulations.
It's a magnificent ball over the top. Leif Davis is always going to make the run. But the angle, the weight of the pass just means that Davis can step onto it, play it first time. Let's have a look at the block. Is there anything wrong with this? I think the ball strikes Alfie Jones, but it's not in an unnatural position. He's not moved it towards the ball, has he? You see he's readjusting. Ball is by his side. The ball hits his arm for me. He doesn't move his arm towards the ball looking to block it. It's close to his body. Surely you can't give handball for that.
Quite the wicked bounce, didn't it? And just bounced that fraction too high from an Ipswich perspective. Oh, Kelly! Well, it fell on his favoured foot. But a little off balance.
When the ball breaks kindly for you, do you need to go with the lace? Just go with the side foot. Get the control, get the accuracy, get it on target. It's a wild swipe at the ball. Go with the side foot.
There's a player who's come into the team amidst quite the fanfare with the big fee by Championship standards, the biggest. And at a tender age, playing in a team where there are great expectations, it's not quite happened just yet. Early days. Here's Furlong. Play. Likely to win a physical battle, Kipray.
Well, ultimately there was no handball, but Philogene drifting in field. Space there for Leif Davis to run in behind Morgan Whittaker's. A bit of a lack of communication between Whittaker and Britton. But the weight of the pass, the angle of the pass from Dara O'Shea is outstanding. Alfie Jones just stands his ground, the ball hits his arm. It's not a penalty, but brilliant run across from Davis.
Ipswich building in promising fashion again. Egeli after Furlong one. Right, first to meet. Kipray. Oh. And here's the call out by Hackney, and a good ball to find Strelets. Conway up with him. He's found Conway! But he finds Palmer, who makes a hugely important save. Hackney. And Palmer is there again.
Well, they're two stunning saves. He's had so little to do. For goalkeepers, it is all about concentration. When your team is on the front foot, creating chances, you're not involved in the game, suddenly then you are. Really poor straight pass from Kipray, picked up brilliantly by Hackney. Great pass from Strelets, great weight of pass, but the goalkeeper gets his angles right, goes to ground just at the right time. Then he's up and ready to make another save, and the second one, he's got a deflection on it as well. That is a stunning left-handed save. Quite brilliant from Alex Palmer. He was signed to make saves like this. That ball is deflected, it changes direction, skids off the turf. That is a brilliant save.
Chance here for Whittaker. Oh, they sure play a mean pin ball. And Brown, and Palmer's there again. Well, an extraordinary sequence for the goalkeeper. Offside flag up now. And Ipswich breathe the mightiest sigh of relief. And they've got so much to thank Alex Palmer for.
Suddenly Borough just burst into life, but I think this save third major one of the game is all about his readiness, his positioning. It's pretty much straight at him. He's in a position to make a save. Then it's how quickly he can react. How quickly can you get your hands up and make the stop from close quarters. And it's a magnificent save again. Once again, it's driven into the ground. It's skidding. It's got pace on it. Could bounce up anywhere. He's in a great position. His reactions are outstanding.
Well, I have to say as well in there that Whittaker had an opportunity to get a real strike of quality away with his weapon of choice and rather got it wrong. Alex Palmer dealing with everything that came his way, and there were quite the challenges amongst them as well.
I think the first save is very different to the second and third. All excellent though.
Thursday with a neat touch here for Philogene. And now Hurst. Floats it in there and hooked away dramatically. Smolik's header and a very near thing for Ipswich at the other end. Hurst coming in, Davis to keep it alive. And Hackney. And this game has come to boiling point. Conway. Bergzorg. Palmer's there. Strelitz! Oh, Ipswich let off there. For once, Palmer left bereft.
Well, for half an hour or so, we've had a game of chess, but suddenly the game just opens up completely. Both sides really stretched. He probably deserves a bit of luck, Alex Palmer, because he won't be happy with that first save, the way it comes off him. But he spreads himself brilliantly to make it so difficult for Strelitz to tuck the ball home. It's an amazing clearance down the other end as well. Is it Dale Fry, I think, who clears it off his own goal line? Some goalkeepers, defenders performing brilliantly in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's a great cross from Hurst. He just can't head it down strongly enough, Spotted. He's always on the stretch. It gives Fry a chance, but again, the way he gets round on the cover, back to defend the target, is brilliant.
Palmer the credit as well for making life difficult for Strelitz with that great opportunity. And suddenly, it's all happening in both goal mouths, but particularly that one.
Kieran McKenna will be a lead coach, which his team looks to have been in control with creating better chances. Suddenly, they could easily have been 2 behind.
There's Britton. She's coming in, Kipray in the right place, and Middlesbrough pressure building again.
They're getting some great areas, and finally they're producing some quality, whether it be crossing or hitting the target. They haven't done that in the last 3 games or so, starting to do it tonight.
It's a really good spell for Middlesbrough. Can they make it count? Appealing to the near post. Palmer again under pressure. Egeli.
Guarantee you, Rob Edwards is thinking, how on earth are we not ahead with the opportunities we've just had?
Whittaker. Bergzorg. Or a disappointment and Ipswich relief as Kayuste looks to make forward strides.
Last 5 minutes or so, both sides have a decent amount of possession, but just look how much more threatening Middlesbrough have been with their portion of the ball, asking big questions of that Ipswich defence. But so far, Alex Palmer has come up with the answers.
after that frenetic spell. Pace could not have reduced any further in that moment. In towards Hackney, but the bounce is kind for Smodics. And the ball is a useful one. Matchday were able to sweep it onward as well. Davis. Hurst. Matchday, now Hurst. Villager on for Davis. And he might get another chance. Tangling there with Britton. And a penalty is awarded. The bewildered face of Callum Britton. But Matthew Donoghue in absolutely no doubt. And looking too.
Now, Leif Davis plays that first cross and then he continues his run and gets goal side of Callum Britton. The referee's in a good position, he's looking right down the barrel there, so he feels clearly. He's going to pull of the shirt, there's been a nudge there. I think it's a bit of panic maybe from Callum Britton when he's caught the wrong side. He's gone slightly to sleep there. I think Leif Davis goes down fairly easily, but again, I think it's a defender, caught wrong side of his man. Instinctively, the arms come out. What an opportunity this is for Ipswich. Alex Palmer down the other end has performed heroics. What an opportunity for Ipswich now to take the lead.
Offended by the Borough upgrading of Leif Davis. They perceive injustice. Callum Britton certainly does. Well, one goalkeeper shining. Is it Sol Bryn's turn in the Middlesbrough goal? George Hurst scored their first goal of the season at St Andrews from the penalty spot. The rueful face of George Hurst, and it's been a night for the goalkeepers so far.
First half for the keepers, he just reads it incredibly well, Sol Bryn. I think the way that Hurst approaches it, he's always going to whip it towards that right-hand post. The timing of the dive, the athleticism, wonderful save.
And the pressure cleared by Dale Fry. This is Villager. Davis. For once got it wrong, he's such a reliable deliverer of a ball. And it's been greeted with as raucous a reaction as anything. The Middlesbrough supporters hushed, fearing that having not made the most of a spell of feverish pressure, they were to be severely punished for it, but not this time.
Their goalkeepers, again, they're looking at body language, the way that a penalty taker approaches the ball. I think when Hurst kind of arrives from this angle, very difficult to then maybe open your body out and go to the keeper's left. You're always going to whip it with your instep to the keeper's right. And again, the keeper's still got to get there as well. It could be high, could be low, could bounce. But time the dive to perfection, and he does.
Well, there's been a lot of speculation during the course of the summer and at the very start of the campaign about who would be the player donning the gloves for Middlesbrough on a regular basis this season. Rob Edwards says that he just loves his calming presence, Sol Bryn. He's won the day. The talent, like so many down the years that they've nurtured here at Middlesbrough, and really showing his qualities. Great moment for him. Well, it seems a shame. There's only going to be about 1 minute of added time.
I do feel from a neutral point of view, if Middlesbrough had gone behind in that way, it would have really been hard on them, considering the opportunities that they've had. They deserve to go in behind.
Britain has really dug that one out. And Ipswich can certainly point out they've had one cleared off the line and a penalty. Bergsorg trying to work his way inside. He has instead worked it to Hackney. Britain. And Philogene got something on the ground. Hackney. It's Davis who lost his footing, and Bergsorg across! Oh, goal by Kipre! Now for Ipswich, and sheer delight at the Riverside. Well, Middlesbrough, great response to conceding the penalty. Solbrin's save gave them a lift, and they've gone straight down the other end and scored. But defensive errors here, a couple of them. Leif Davis, you've got to do more than that against Bergsorg. That is not strong enough, and he just doesn't sort his feet out, Kipre. It's a relatively easy cross to deal with. He's not really sure, which foot to clear it with, and makes just a complete hash of it. But Leif Davis, you've got to do more. You can't allow Bergsorg to get in that position so easily, and then a centre-half, sort your feet out, put it in the stands. It's a dreadful goal for Ipswich to give away. Well, brilliant moment for Sol Bryn, a moment that certainly will not trouble us for the goal of the day competition, never mind the goal of the season. Horror for Hurst, for Davis, for Kipre. And a buoyant Borough support greet the half-time whistle at the Riverside Stadium. Goalkeepers shining, but Palmer having shown his worth at the other end, beaten by his own player. And half-time here on Teesside, it's the home team in front. Middlesbrough 1, Ipswich Town 0.
It's been a cracking first half, not so much perhaps with Cedric Kipre. It's his own goal that separates the two sides ahead of the second half, which gets underway in just a few moments. Back to your commentary team, it's Andy Hinchliffe and Daniel Mann. And Daniel Mann, well done on that Who reference, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. It's not something I've been complimented on often in my time, but Cedric Kipre will not have received too many compliments about his horror moment, and the ups and downs of life as a footballer starkly illustrated. So Borough ready to get the second period underway, and Rob Edwards is a man that so far has made some notable half-time changes when things haven't necessarily been going his way, but as that half warmed up, and let's be honest, it took a little while, he would have felt a real sense of satisfaction with his team. He wanted more going forward, better use of the ball.
I think for half an hour we had a game of chess, and then for 15 minutes it was buckaroo, wasn't it? Everything was happening. Explosions all over the pitch.
Target! Off target.
Not an easy chance by any means, a dropping ball. It's difficult to get that ball down, let alone then think about getting a strike in off the back of it. He actually takes the ball off his favoured left foot onto his right, so it's a more difficult chance on the half volley as well. It's a clean strike. It's off target.
Well, he has scored for Middlesbrough this season. It was with his right foot against Preston. On by Egeli to Hurst. Smodics.
He's right to take the chance on first time, but where he's actually shooting from, it's beyond the near post. To score from there takes something special. Maybe you should see what Kieran McKenna does normally. In most games, he gets to an hour, 65 minutes, he thinks about making changes because he's got that quality on his bench. And in regards to the score, sometimes he makes those, kind of freshens the team up, gives the opponent something different to think about. They might have to chase the game if they haven't got that goal back by that kind of 60-65 minute mark.
Well, so many occasions in League One, and in their last championship campaign, games were won from the bench. Something of a cruel twist in the Premier League. Games were often lost because of the opposition's reserves of talent. Aidan Hackney feeling a sore one. He's back to his feet.
Yeah, I know it's a team game, but Middlesbrough absolutely need Aidan Hackney fit and firing. He is so influential for this team. In that first half, we saw his influence, why he's so important to Borough, why Ipswich wanted to sign him. He's probably the most complete midfielder in the Championship as it stands, all action, and he controlled that first half. He had the most touches of any outfield player.
Matchday able to turn, but he had two converging on him, one of whom was Conway. Bergzorg knocked to the deck off the ball. Conway had to try and go the long way around Leif Davis there. So the endeavour of the two Middlesbrough front men very much in evidence there.
I think it's the kind of positivity you need from all your players, not just your front men. When you're 1-0 up, at half-time, the momentum can be slowed down if you allow it to, but they've started the second half really aggressively, Middlesbrough. It's the right approach.
It's fallen to Philogene, and Hackney was very quick to attend to him, although with a tug of the shirt. And sufficient to bring Ipswich's chief threat to the ground.
He's not made many mistakes, but he's caught wrong side here. As that ball is flicked on cleverly by Schmodix. You see Hackney's wrong side of Philogene, just grabs hold of the shirt. Again, that situation, you just stay away from Philogene. Don't try and manhandle him or try and get to the ball, because you run the risk of giving a free kick away in a really dangerous area.
Well, you would feel probably that it may be Philogene's, but Davis can pack a punch with a left foot.
It's a brilliant set piece position, whether you be right foot or left foot. It's just whether you back yourself to pick out the top corner, whether you strike the ball at the goalkeeper and hope he maybe moves behind his wall. We'll see who takes it and how they decide to strike it. Leif Davis just having a little look there, that maybe space whipping it round Morgan Whittaker towards Bryn's right-hand post. We'll see whether that happens.
It's the type of posture you'd normally see adjacent to a snooker table from Leif Davis there. Well, Middlesbrough left guessing here. It is going to be Davis. Unfortunately, it scooted off perhaps the arm of Callum Britton.
It's a really poor strike from Leif Davis to hit the wall from there. With the quality he's got with that left foot, he can start it well wide of the wall and whip it back. He does that time and again when he crosses it. So really, from that position, you strike the ball as if you're crossing it, get it to move quickly from left to right.
Well, Kist is going to launch one. That's Bryn's all night long, and maybe a promising counter as a result. It certainly is. Whittaker did really well. Conway likewise for Bergzorg. And it's just going to escape the clutches of Conway. Palmer there. Hackney. Matasiwa in the way. Whittaker. Right foot rather than his weapon of choice and over the bar.
Yeah, but will he, Whittaker and Middlesbrough, come to regret this? Brilliant from Sol Bryn. Touch initially, control and pass, great vision from Morgan Whittaker, backs the play up. And eventually the ball breaks kindly for him, and manipulates the ball out onto his right foot. He's got a clear sight of goal. So get a little bit excited here and try and smash it rather than again go with your instep, make sure you hit the target, keep it down. It's a really good chance. Comes from a good quick release from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper Alex Palmer doing so well to time that That dive to the ground, perfect.
Just a second time of asking, able to move it on here for Smodics. Egeli. Furlong flying forward on the overlap. It was very much to Ipswich's benefit. Target with some work to do.
It's a wonderful open field to the start of this second half. Let's hope it continues. Lots of space for dangerous attackers to exploit.
Furlong is just making his way back because Middlesbrough have left Whittaker up the pitch.
He's so high and wide, Morgan Whittaker, we can hardly see him.
Making the pitch big. Davis. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up from an Ipswich perspective. Cry. Jones. Good ball here for Strelets. Target to Bergzorg. Bergzorg ushering target further forward as well, and he's get onto it now. The tussle there between Hurst and Jones was won by the latter. Well infield this time. Likewise, Britain. Alan Brown. Whittaker. On for Strelets. Conway's in there. And Palmer's there again. For Morgan Whittaker. Well, Palmer beaten for the second time. Morgan Whittaker, who's been a target for the Boo Boys at times at Middlesbrough, has a moment to savour his first goal in the red shirt. It's been a while coming, but it really feels good.
It's a huge goal for the team, but you're absolutely right. For Morgan Whittaker, that is priceless, but it's a goal of patience and precision. It's brilliantly crafted. You see Ipswich fairly passive, sitting in their defensive shape, but they just get in between the lines. Brilliant timing of forward runs, great understanding between the Borough players. And once Alex Palmer tries to pat that ball away, he's never going to be able to collect it. Just really lays it on the play, but again Whittaker has drifted from that wide position into a goal-scoring position. Strelets, that's a horrible ball for the goalkeeper to deal with. He can't, but Whittaker's followed the play up, and 2-0, long way back for Ipswich now, but a beautifully constructed goal.
Well, the emotion evident. Player who received fulsome backing from his manager a few short weeks ago at Deepdale when sarcastic reaction greeted his substitution. And in fairness, the Borough support reacted very positively to those comments from Rob Edwards, and certainly he has. And they're reaping the benefits now. Thursday, Smodics. Change of feet, deflection off Brown.
Well, this Ipswich team do have great character, they have great quality. They're really going to have to show it here and dig deep. Have to take a few risks, maybe. There's the opportunity for Borough to get a third and kill the game off, but Ipswich will keep pushing.
Whittaker, indeed it is.
I mentioned at the start of the second half about the Borough positivity. You know, they're 1-0 up, deserved to be 1-0 up. Half-time can kind of slow you down a little bit, but they went at it right from the start of that second half, and getting that second goal, that's what they were after. Rob Edwards would have wanted that. The cushion that he would have wanted. And it came from his team, starting the second half really positively.
Great footballing sage, A.D. Vivash alongside Rob Edwards there. Wanted an experienced challenger of opinion alongside him. He's also got Harry Watling, who's younger than both of them, who is another eye-catching and impressive addition to the coaching staff. O'Shea letting it wander over him, and Palmer has to take evasive action.
As a coaching team, surely you do have to challenge each other. If you feel something's not right and you are experienced, you've got every right to have your say. It's just whether other people actually listen, and you work as a team. As simple as that. Not one person is going to make it happen. I think Rob Edwards will agree that. Of course, the buck stops with him, but again, how they get to winning games, to maybe getting promoted, will be down to that coaching setup.
Yeah. It's very keen to give them their head on the training ground and be creative, as he put it. And serving them well. A little bit of a sticky run, I think, of which more has been made than there is necessarily to make, given there have been some tough assignments. But this might be regarded as one in the category of statement victory, if that is what it proves to be. Brown.
I think the problem for Borough is they won 5 of the first 6 games, so it's a really high bar.
Bergzorg. The defeat for Ipswich at Preston. They're only one in the league so far. It was a game which they felt they largely had the better of. Middlesbrough got a 2-2 draw with a display of real grit at Deepdale, and there will be a good number of teams who will be grateful this season if they achieve that much in that particular part of Lancashire this season, the way things are going. Bergzorg. Whittaker. Hackney. Brown. There's a question of how Middlesbrough managed this, whether somewhat for Ipswich, but they seem pretty hungry. Strelets, Bergzorg. Now Brown. Through here for Target. Strelets. Good decision against Strelets. Maybe one or two of you, I'm sure, more than that, pointing to a potential marginal offside in the build-up to Middlesbrough's second goal. We will provide further evidence on that when we get a moment.
Yeah, it looks a really tight call, but again, referee's assistant's got to be absolutely sure it is offside to stick the flag up. Really impressed with the Borough approach here. 1-0 up, forced the issue, got the second goal. Looks as if they're going for a third. They're not going gung-ho and being really open and taking risks. Approach the game in just the right way.
Into Hurst. Now Smodics. McGilly drifting into the middle. O'Shea. Hurst. Smodic's ever willing. Target makes the first contact, but a corner forced.
There's a bit of desperation. I think he gets caught actually watching the ball initially. The run behind him is made by Smodics and has to head it. It's going back to the second goal. The forward runner Streletsy. It's a really tight call. Just wonder whether O'Shea is actually playing him onside. It is a really tight one. Again, referee's assistant isn't absolutely sure it's offside, then don't put your flag up. It's the way that Morgan Whittaker just, follows the play. In, he becomes the centre forward. He plays it out wide, continues his run. If he doesn't do that, he's not there to tuck it home. That's not by accident, that's by appreciating where he needed to be.
Still very much in the territory of benefit of the doubt when we don't have VAR.
We talk a lot about the importance of the first goal in any game, but the third goal in any game is equally as important. If Middlesbrough can get that third, it would pretty much be game over, even though Ipswich are a fantastic side. But if Ipswich were to get a goal back, we've seen it before, teams can start to get worried.
The furlong fling. With the Middlesbrough counter. Bergsorg with Whittaker up with him. Matasiwa stems the Crimson Tide for the moment. Conway wanted it, but Whittaker wanted it more, and confidence coursing through him at the moment.
Yeah, when he picks that ball up, he's not really closed down effectively, so he has the time and space to step onto his left foot and try and wrap his instep around it. Leif Davis is just standing and watching him. Got to step onto him. He's actually using you as a screen. He just doesn't wrap his instep around it enough. Every time Borough go forward, they really dangerous, really dynamic on the break, especially.
Certainly going to take some action because they're preparing a quadruple change.
I think we're getting to McKenna time here, aren't we? 60, 65 minutes. Make at least two, could be making four.
So, Clark, who's entrance onto the stage tonight will be bring out a few nerves in a few. Akpom, it'll be interesting to see what sort of welcome he gets. Azon and Nunez also ready to go. Furlong. O'Shea.
Send it wide, send it wide, send it wide.
So Furlong again. They're going to, I think, hold fire and make the changes. State is the first to make his exit. And Marcelino Nunez, I think his reaction to Derby victory certainly was not understated against his old club, and that has been noted in many quarters. Smodics will be replaced by Chuba Akpom. Ivan Azon, the wild card. Jack Clark, who has been such an effective substitute for Ipswich already this season. But Chuba Akpom Someone said to me at half-time, was it written in the stars for him on his return to the Riverside? Nunez given room to shoot. And on the turn, the strike from O'Shea.
Yeah, making those 4 changes, that's not desperation from Kieran McKenna. Time and again, he's done this. 2 subs, 3 subs, 4 subs. Even in games when they're winning, he's made those changes. It's a tactic he uses. And it's proved really effective in the past, but this would be some turnaround if the subs can get this game going.
Well, we're going to see the 8-second rule come into force because Sol Bryn held on to possession too long and Ipswich have got a corner.
It's not the referee's fault, it's the rules, and clearly indicated to the goalkeeper he needs to release it, and he didn't.
Well, we haven't seen it too often since it came in. Nunez with the delivery, it comes out to Philogene.
Well, if this opportunity is at Portman Road, he picks out the top corner, but on the road, he's just not been able to find the back of the net.
So Strelets withdrawn, and also Morgan Whittaker. Well, big smile from Adi Vivash and a hearty handshake. Aidan Morris back on the scene with the United States in World Cup year, and Kali Sen also coming on. He has had an interesting itinerary, Aidan Morris, that vital cog in the Middlesbrough midfield. Was taken in Austin, Texas, and Commerce City, Colorado. Some of the great sporting venues that footballers want to play at, and he stepped out for about 15 minutes at Dick's Sporting Goods Park against Australia. Davis sprawling in his attempts to keep a hold of it.
We talk a lot about the quality that Ipswich Kieran McKenna has on his bench, but look at Rob Edwards here bringing on Aidan Morris, who is just perpetual motion. Kali Sen is no slouch either, and there's others, Riley McGree and Nipan Hansen. He's got some depth there, Rob Edwards, on the bench.
So the Hackney-Morris partnership is renewed ahead of Alan Brown. Who stayed down here. And referee Donahue wisely taking precautions if there's any suggestion of a head injury.
I'm not sure whether it was the impact or the landing that was the problem for Alan Brown. It seems to me as he actually just goes to ground. Let's hope he's okay. He's in my eyes one of the best championship players we've seen. I just think his consistency over the years for Preston, and he went to Sunderland, never really got too much of an opportunity there, but I still think Rob Edwards has signed a really good professional here in Alan Brown.
Well, from back to front, some key moments.
Yeah, magnificent penalty save from Sol Bryn, who reads it, strong right hand to keep out Hurst's penalty. Go down the other end and Kipre just doesn't sort his feet out. It's an absolute hash of the clearance to give Middlesbrough probably a deserved lead at half-time, and then in the second half Borough pushed on. A brilliant pass and move goal. And Morgan Whittaker playing the ball out wide, following his pass, getting into a centre-forward position, and getting the benefit of the Alex Palmer pat down. It's no more than Middlesbrough deserved. They've been excellent.
serving his time on the touchline. Prodded through by Nunez, as on Clark, Furlong, Dale Fry. Is derriere coming to good use there?
It's not the most glamorous defending, but at times just put your body on the line. And all the defenders there, outstanding work.
Yeah, absolutely threw himself at it. Charging back into the action. Clark, Nunez, O'Shea, Kipray, Davis, Tommy Conway now out on that right flank. Matasuwa didn't get it right. Bergzorg chasing, Bergzorg winning. Hackney on for Bergzorg again. Sends in there, going near post. Cut out by O'Shea.
It's just brilliant from Bergzorg. It's not just his strength, it's his desire to put Matasuwa under pressure and not foul him. And then he can lay the ball off and think my job is done. He doesn't, he spins it behind Matasuwa. It's brilliant. Under pretty much nothing. He gets his team a set piece.
Adding nuisance value, but delivery not up to the mark. Oh, has that got enough on it? Well, it has in the end. Kelechi. It goes Middlesbrough's way, as the game is.
Still a fair bit of work to do for Middlesbrough, but for Rob Edwards, changing the shape of the team. Yes, they played a back four against Stoke, changing from that back five that he normally plays, changing the personnel as well. Some of his players been away on international duty, so I'm not saying it was a brave team selection, but so far looks as if Rob Edwards has got it absolutely right against a team that are banging form.
It's not travelling as well as to the standard of their home performances, or certainly results at the moment. Ipswich Town.
Yeah, they scored 15 goals in the Championship, just 2 of them, 2 on the road, and it's only, what, 3.5 games or so, but a team with this quality going forward and the opportunity for even more quality to come into the team off the bench, you'd expect more than 2 goals so far.
1 win in 14 away from home coming into this in the league. That does, of course, include battles against opposition of a higher level. Matasuwa. Space for O'Shea. A brush off a Middlesbrough head, but so often they've been willing to block and close down.
The opportunity is there, then suddenly it's gone. As a red shirt steps out, and gets a blocking, gets in the line of fire. You might get one in the face, it might be painful, but stops the ball travelling towards your goal. It's necessary.
It's got a proper defending from Dale Fry. Nunez, and in by O'Shea. His first goal for Ipswich, and it could be a vital one.
Yeah, I said the 3rd goal in the game could be massive, in Ipswich had pretty much nothing back in it. I'm not a big fan of the away swinger, but when they're delivered like this, with pace and flat, it doesn't really leave the 6-yard box. It's there to be attacked. I think they're just getting each other's way, the Middlesbrough defenders there. That enables O'Shea just to get the run, and it's such a considered header. Pace on the ball, just redirect it. Don't try too hard. It's a brilliant glancing header. It's game on.
Assist for Marcelino Nunez as well. Yes, he'd played
a bit part in Ipswich's derby success, but I'm sure the manner of his celebrations will live long in memories in Norfolk. It's only the second goal in the league that Middlesbrough have conceded here. Hard for Azor Matasiwa.
It's a clever play from Conway, just protects the ball so well. He gets himself in between Matasiwa and the ball. There isn't that much contact on him, but once he feels it, Conway goes to ground. It's a slightly goal side of his man, you know what's going to happen, but we've really got a game within a game here now with the substitutions that Kieran McKenna has made. Again, they've worked, had an influence on the game. It's a very different complexion to the game now at 2-1 and 2-0.
Helped on by Fry. Left on the deck. Trilogy. Sen. Now's Ipswich to build. Nunez, well, Sen, having made the error, atoned quickly. Window of opportunity there. Davis feeding Clark well, and Bryn with strong enough arm, and Azon couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, I think if that ball rolls over his hand, it's a tap-in for Azon, but looking really sharp here, Ipswich really taking the game to Middlesbrough. Real defensive test ahead for the home team. Jack Clark, once he gets into the penalty area, you know you've got a problem, but it's a strong left hand. It really knocks that ball back from where it's come. He's not that strong with this. If it rolls over his palm, it is a tap-in.
The thing for Azon, who's got used to that. He's hit the post a couple of times, notably against Norwich, but on that occasion Jack Clark was on hand to tap in. Behind by Britton. Is there going to be an onslaught? Nunez creating a goal with a corner moments ago.
I don't think I can blame Middlesbrough too much, not as if they've sat back. I just think that Ipswich, with those changes off the bench, have just taken the game to much more of an aggression about them now.
Shea won't be able to make his stride to the near post as easily this time, or will he? He's broken free, but Fry gets his head to it. Jack Clark. It's Sen who's down in play. Trilogy. Shea. A flick on from Fry. Kipre. Fry is up against Cedric Kipre. So the Ipswich momentum halted for the moment.
There's a massive 10 minutes or so ahead for Middlesbrough, you feel here, because the pressure is being ramped up. Ipswich throwing everything at them. They've got the belief back with that O'Shea flick header.
So, Sam Silvera is the player who's replacing Tommy Conway. Aidan Morris has come over just to take on board some instruction.
Ipswich really pushing and pushing. Can they really stand strong here at Middlesbrough? And the strongest side defensively in the Championship so far. They're going to need all that resilience now.
As on a real bustler up at the top end of the pitch. Couldn't quite get away as the ball crept out of play, I think. It's going to be a free kick for an earlier foul. So I understand Azon's bemusement, but it was nothing to do with him. Kipre, Morris, shank into the air really, and nothing more than that. That's Hackney. Jones, centres offside. And he's kicked the ball away, so he's going to go into the book, which is naive at best, stupid at worst.
He makes the run from deep. It's possibly a tight call for offside, but you can't nudge the ball away like that. You know what's coming. There's another decision of a potentially marginal nature. Certainly the action below us would suggest that. Ball by Kipre. Davis is offside.
So Matasiwa, a midfielder of more protective posture in many ways, is going to go off and be replaced by the turbocharged Jack Taylor. Late drama for Ipswich against Derby the other week at Portman Road, which was certainly not one for the purists. Managed to salvage a draw. So busy Premier League weekend, status to which these two aspire. Fulham against Arsenal is our Saturday night offering. And I don't want to put you off, but Andy Hinchcliffe is at Tottenham Aston Villa. That kicks off at 2 o'clock, and that will be followed by Liverpool against Manchester United.
A big game, just got bigger.
West Ham Brentford, another London derby for you on Monday night. Here's Sen, that's good. This is Hackney.
He's human after all, he can get things wrong.
But he can afford to smile about it at the moment. But there may be high anxiety before the finish here. And Azon's made a great run, but, well, he hasn't actually, because he's been flagged offside.
Yeah, initially it looked like Dale Fry had been caught watching the ball. Well, I tell you what, I think that is a really tight call. I think he's unfortunate there, Azon. He seemed to me to have been level with the defenders, and to see the flag go up after making such a seemingly well-timed run, it's heartbreaking for him.
He's currently in the process of doing an industrial engineering degree, Ivan Azon. His football IQ as high as the general one. Nunez. Target was fouled. Distinctly defensive change in the offing for Middlesbrough.
I just wonder, Rob Edwards, would he think about changing to a back five in the final few minutes of the game, or is that possibly going to encourage Ipswich on even further?
Well, I think the hand of Rob Edwards told you exactly that, as Luke Ayling comes on and Delano Bergzorg goes off on this near side.
adding some defensive solidity, he hopes, as those two gentlemen certainly did in these parts. I hope Gary can stay awake for the finish. And Tony Mowbray, well, he's a legend of both clubs. And heroic moment at Wembley in the blue shirt in the playoff final 25 years ago for Ipswich against Barnsley. Towering header. As Ron Atkinson said in co-commentary, he came out of the clouds for that one. There's Nunez. Furlong.
And it's a back five now for Bury. You can understand it at this stage of the game. Ipswich coming on strong, stick on the extra defender, play with it a solid five if you can. Get a four in front of them, the one up front, play on the counter-attack, but the reason for Ayling coming on, the change in shape, just keep Ipswich out.
Nunez, as on the target, keeps Fry honest again. Philogene. They kept him pretty quiet.
And with Jack Clark coming on, he's operating down the left-hand side, and Philogene's been sent over to the right-hand side. He's had very little of the ball, had very little effect on the game since he's come over to the right, Philogene.
Furlong underneath this, so too Silvera. So come over to the left side where he is happier. Oh, it looks a bit of a dog-leggy midfield four, if you know what I mean. Tom Silvera managed to guide it to Hackney, who's doing his best to hold off Nunez. His best wasn't quite good enough in that particular instance. Here's Davis, who might be in trouble here. Sen. Foul by Taylor. Minimum of 4 added minutes. We're into that.
This is where Middlesbrough want to be, in possession, high up the pitch. They want to try and run the clock down. Apart from maybe that first half an hour, both sides really respectful of each other, were kind of feeling each other out. It's been a sensational hour's worth of football.
Hackney with an interesting run, but greater sense of pragmatism about Middlesbrough. Ipswich can't really afford to hang about. This is Nunez. Into Clark. Hackney. Sen. Silvera. Forward by Target. Good ball into Aidan Morris. Ayling. And now Britton. Corner flag rather than jugular in mind. Perhaps wisely.
Yeah, corner flag starts to look very attractive at this stage of the game. 2-1 up.
contact, won the free kick. Well, it's not yet won by Rob Edwards' team, but this man has shone, Andy.
Yeah, it's been a real team effort, don't get me wrong, but Hayden Hackney has proved just what an outstanding championship midfielder he is. You see the amount of ground he's covered, the quality he has on the ball, the aggression, tenacity to win it back. He is the complete midfielder in this league.
Player who narrowly escaped Ipswich's clutches before the closure of the transfer window. There will be clubs of a higher status, I'm sure, willing to test his resolve to stay on Teesside in January.
I've always seen Hayden Hackney as a Premier League player, playing in the Championship.
And as the Teesside public are rightly telling you, this result would take Middlesbrough 2 points clear of Coventry at the top of the table. Coventry in action along with so many tomorrow against Blackburn. Well, one more heave for Ipswich. Furlong pointing the way, and he's been found. Nunez. O'Shea. So Furlong opts not to go long, but it's got to go in there sooner or later for Ipswich. Nunez high and hanging. And it's Britton who got the touch. Whistle in mouth. The referee Matthew Donoghue. And Middlesbrough have climbed back to the top of the Championship. For now at least, Coventry can have their say tomorrow. But a victory that probably carries more weight than many this season. Morgan Whittaker's first goal for the club, long awaited, ultimately proved to be the difference. Cedric Kipre had a moment to forget to give Borough the lead, his own goal. O'Shea got his first goal for Ipswich to ensure some anxiety at the end. George Hurst failing from the spot in the first half, a brilliant save from Sol Bryn on a night where both goalkeepers really showed their worth. But it's Middlesbrough who come away with the full reward of 3 points, and all at the Riverside wreathed in smiles.
It's a huge win for Borough. It's a deserved win, though. They were outstanding to a man. I posed the question at the start of the game, can they compete with the best? Can they stay the course? You know, really challenge for promotion. I think the answer they've shown us tonight is an emphatic yes.
So Morgan Whittaker getting the weight off his shoulders. Rob Edwards smiling. Kieran McKenna disappointed. Their case of travel sickness continues without an away win so far. Middlesbrough take the spoils. They have beaten Ipswich Town by 2 goals to 1.